Outreach. I'm Allison Bicknell, and with me today is Lynn Gustafson from North Oakland Transportation Authority. Welcome, Lynn. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me.
So, why don't you just talk a little bit about NOTA and the history behind it? Where did the inspiration come from?
Sure. Yeah, NOTA is a door-to-door transportation facility for the seniors, disabled, and low-income residents of Orion, Oxford, and Addison townships. And NOTA is the only public transportation in our area, and we take people to doctor's appointments, to dialysis, to work, grocery shopping, therapy, church, community events, senior centers. We get people who don't have access to a vehicle or can't drive, and we give them an independent life.
Yes.
And NOTA started in 2001.
Okay.
And it was formed by the three communities, Orion, Oxford, and Addison. And the residents of those communities had voted down the Smart Millage back then.
Okay.
But the communities realized that there was a need for transportation in the area. So they came together, the three governments, each with one vehicle each. So we started with 3 vehicles back in 2001, and that's kind of how we were formed.
Awesome. So you are the director of NOTA.
Yes.
So what's new for this year? What is new for NOTA? What are we looking forward to?
We've had a lot of changes over last year, really exciting changes. One of our big changes is that we've received we've received 9 new vehicles in the last year, which is almost half of our fleet. So
wow.
yeah, that's obviously vehicles are a big thing in our business.
Yep.
And prior to that, we had an aging fleet because we were waiting for these vehicles to come in. 8 of those 9 vehicles were funded through grant money, so we didn't have to pay for them, but we had to wait till they were delivered.
Of course.
And as a result, up until then, we had our mileage in our fleet was 188,000 per vehicle. So that is really difficult to keep them operating and running. You know, a lot of repair bills. So having 9 new vehicles has been just wonderful. We have, again, I said 8 of them were funded through the grants. And they're a new style of vehicle now. We used to have the Ford 350s, and now they're moving over to the Ford Transit Connect wagons. They're a new, larger vehicle. It's kind of sleek. I'm not sure if you've seen them on the road, but they are nice. And so we received 7 of those, and we received 1, which is a Ford Transit 250, which is a little bit larger. And then our last one was a new type of vehicle called an MV1, and this is an SUV style vehicle, so it's not as large. It only seats like 3 people or 2 wheelchairs and 2 people. But it's a heavy duty vehicle. It's good for our off-roads because it's made all American, and it's made by the Hummer manufacturer down in South Bend, Indiana. And so our drivers really like it for those off-roads where the larger buses just aren't good for.
Right.
And they also have a large ramp, which is different on that vehicle. So instead of the lifts, which we use for our wheelchairs, a ramp comes out, and a lot of our seniors like to use that ramp because they have a difficulty stepping up into the vehicles, so they can gradually get into them.
Okay. Have you heard any feedback from the people that ride your buses, even your drivers, about how great these new vehicles are?
Oh, they are loving them. Number one, they're new, so
a
new vehicle is always better than that, and they handle really well. I think that their handling is driving is almost like driving a car. Almost, it's not.
That's awesome.
And then versus a bus.
Awesome. So for 2016, you got new vehicles. Now, have you noticed the rides? Have the ride percentages gone up in 2016, or are they increasing?
We've been pretty level in the last 3 years. It's about 34,000 rides that we give last year, and for our Orion residents, we gave like 16,400 to our Orion residents, 15,700 to our Oxford residents, and about 1,600 to our Addison residents. And of those, 43% are seniors, 42% are disabled, and 15% are low income. So that's kind of our ridership. It's been pretty consistent over the last 3 years, I'd say.
Yes. Okay. I do have a question. The 15% low income, do you think it's just because people associate NOTA with just giving rides to elderly and disabled, and not per se, oh, I have low income doesn't mean I qualify for a ride to the grocery store or to a doctor's appointment. Do you think
No,
some people think that?
I do. I think that people don't realize that we also are here for the low income.
Right.
Just because we started primarily as promoting for seniors and disabled, but we are here definitely to help those that don't have transportation to work,
Right.
Grocery shopping, doctor's appointments, any of those important rides. We are here to help you.
Right. So for the rides, like the time frame, like let's say I have a doctor's appointment at 2.
Yes.
How do we schedule, like if I need to be picked up at a certain time and then, picked up from my doctor's appointment at a certain time, how does the scheduling go for the rides?
Sure. So if you would like to use NOTA and you aren't currently a rider, then the first step would be to apply, and we have to make sure that you're eligible. So we have to make
okay.
sure that you're a senior, disabled, or low income, also a resident of Orion, Oxford, or Addison. And if you meet those qualifications, it's a very simple application process.
Okay.
You can go on our website, which is www.notaride.org.
Okay.
There's an application you can fill out online and send it. If you don't have online access, you can call our office.
Okay.
And that number is 248-693-7100. And it's also in all our vehicles that you see riding around town.
Yes.
And if you call there and you can just request, we'll send one to you, or you can come to our office.
Okay. Okay.
And then as far as once you are a rider and become registered, then it's a 3-day advance registration that we ask. So if you want to schedule a ride, you call dispatch between 8 a.m. and 2 p.m. Monday through Friday, and you just call dispatch and say, I have a doctor's appointment. You give them the address of the doctor, the time, and then you estimate how long you'll need to be there, and then they will reserve a time for you to be picked up from your home, and then they'll tell you what time they'll pick you up from the doctor's office.
Okay.
And so that's how it goes, and it's pretty simple.
Yeah.
We go again door to door, so if you need assistance from your door to get into the vehicle, our drivers get out of the vehicle, they help you with the walkers or the wheelchairs, make sure that you're buckled in and safe, and also help with your groceries if they need to.
Wow.
Our drivers go above and beyond just
Yeah.
transportation, so it's just a caring type of
Yeah.
environment.
That's amazing to have, door to door. You think when you get these rides, like, oh yeah, they'll pick you up and really don't take you to your door. You have to go meet at a stop, and that is going above and beyond, and that's awesome.
Right, you weren't left on the curb.
Yeah, exactly.
And the other thing is when we drop someone off, like in a doctor's office, we want to make sure that we pick them up. So if we show back up to pick them up and they're not there, we're calling, we're following up.
Right.
We're some transportation services, if they don't see you, they're gone.
They're like, oh,
But we follow up and call people, and so we do go above and beyond. And our fee for service is pretty reasonable. It's $1 for a one-way ride, and as long as you're in Orion, Oxford, or Addison, and $2 outside of our area.
Okay, so you could get picked up outside and pay the $2 fee to get dropped off at your doctor's appointment within those areas.
Right. So
and then dropped off back home.
if your doctor is in Rochester, so it would be $2 there and $2 back.
Okay.
And our service area goes as far south as Square Lake Road, and on the east side it's Van Dyke, so we go into Romeo.
That's far.
It is.
Wow.
And then the west side's M15, so we go into Clarkston in Brandon Township.
Wow.
And then our north border is the Oakland County line, so Davison Lake Road.
Okay. Wow. That's a really great. It's a really great area.
It is a large area.
It's large, so people should take advantage of this if they need it.
Absolutely.
Really, they really should. So, but as for 2016, I also heard you guys got a new kitchen.
We did.
So tell me about that.
Yeah, that's exciting.
Awesome. I bet you that's exciting.
It really is exciting. We have we moved 3 years ago to the Orion School Bus Garage, which is right behind Blanche Sims down in the village of Lake Orion.
Yep.
We love being there because it gives us room for all of our vehicles, and the office space is great, except it was very tired because when we moved in 3 years ago, it had sat empty for 12 years, and it probably hadn't been touched since the 70s, and so it needed just a little renovation.
A little loving.
So Home Depot had requested a grant, and were granted it, which was wonderful. And they came in with their volunteers and tore out our little kitchen area, which was just an old cupboard and sink, and put in a full cupboards, top and bottom, a new countertop, a new sink, a microwave, and a stove. I mean, it's just amazing. It really has improved the morale of our employees. It's
Yeah.
just the whole work environment's been great. So I just want to thank Home Depot. Their volunteers are amazing, and
Oh,
just
yeah.
working with them was great.
I bet.
They do such a good job as far as helping the community.
Yeah.
They
I
really
mean,
do.
you are helping the community and they're helping you. So
Right.
it's just the circle of helping, and that's awesome.
It really is.
So I heard a little bit talking about your employees. Are they all volunteers, or
No.
majority of them, or some of them staff as well?
They're all staff.
They're
They're
all
all
staff.
paid, but they're all part-time.
Okay.
Most of them are retirees.
Okay.
And so they wanted to have the second job because they were maybe bored at home
Yeah.
or whatever. So they really enjoy dealing with those seniors and disabled. They're caring. They have
Yeah.
a big heart, and they're there because they really enjoy doing it. We're really
Wow.
lucky. We have a great staff. Our dispatch as well. Doug Noecker, my operations manager, I couldn't ask for anything better. So our
Right.
staff is we're blessed to have a family type of environment.
Yeah, I bet. So is there anything else you would like to tell us about NOTA?
Well, we're in the third year of our millage, our 5-year millage. Our funding has been up and down. I've been with NOTA since 2001, so in the last 15 years I've seen a lot of changes. And the funding has been one of the most stressful parts of funding NOTA, because
Yeah.
when we first started, the 3 communities funded through some of the governmental contributions, and then we had a guaranteed federal amount that was given to us. So that's
Right.
kind of how we based it on.
Right.
Well, that guarantee went away, and then it went to a competing grant system, which you didn't know if you're going to get every year.
Okay.
And so up until 2015, half of our budget was funded through grants, which we didn't know if we were going to get year to year. So it was very
Right.
stressful.
Yeah.
So we went to the public and asked for a millage,
Mhm.
and they luckily passed the quarter mill, which is a 5-year millage,
Okay.
and it's just been a blessing because now you can actually plan
Yeah.
and you have some confidence that your service is going to continue.
Yes.
So, and I know our riders were very stressed, wondering, if we're going to cut back, if they're
Right.
going to be here for us and whatnot, because they rely on us. Many of them don't have friends and family to take them,
Right.
to sometimes even life-sustaining appointments such as dialysis,
Right.
grocery shopping. And we have people call and say, I have no groceries, I need to get to the store, and there's no one to
Right.
take them. So, knowing that these people are, that's like the vulnerable people in our community, possibly could be losing,
Yeah.
really life-sustaining service.
Right.
It's just wonderful that the community backed us,
Yeah.
has supported it, and will be. And when you look at a quarter mil versus what Smart is charging 1 mil,
Uh-huh.
so we're only a quarter of what they're charging. So
Right.
we're still a huge savings if we had that system come in. I think
Right.
we're a good value, and we give a great service. So I just want to thank the community for supporting us, and continue when we go back in 2019. Please support NOTA. We'll need your help, because you never know. Even if you don't need it today, you'll
Yeah.
say, "Well, I don't need NOTA.
Right.
I don't use it. Why should I support it?" Life can change in an instant, and accidents happen, and before you know it, you're there. Illnesses. So if you don't want to help your fellow neighbor out, you just really don't know, even for yourself,
Right.
if you're going to need transportation any day. So just want to thank the people, the communities.
I think that's all the time we have for today. So I want to just say thank you again for coming and talking to me. It was
Well,
great.
Thank you for having me.
Again, this is Lynn Gustafson from NOTA, who is the director. So just thank you.
And thank you for letting us tell about our story.
Yeah, it was great. So just thank you to all the viewers back at home, and we will be back next time.